Let's talk about Leonardo da Vinci, the ultimate Renaissance man. This guy wasn't just good at one thing, he was good at everything. Born in 1452 in a small town called Vinci, yeah, that's why he's called Da Vinci. Leonardo is the kind of overachiever who makes you question what you're doing with your life. He wasn't just a painter, he was a sculptor, an architect, an inventor, a scientist, an engineer, and probably would have invented Wi-Fi if he had a little more time. Seriously, Leonardo's to-do list was so long, he basically dabbled in every field except taking a nap. Leonardo's early life was pretty humble. He was the illegitimate son of a notary and a peasant woman because, of course, even his origin story had to have some flair. As a kid, Leonardo didn't have formal schooling, but that didn't stop him from becoming one of the smartest people in history. He learned by observing the world around him, sketching everything he saw. Nature was his classroom, and apparently it was all the education he needed to become a big brain. At 14, Leonardo started an apprenticeship with Andrea del Verrocchio, a well-known artist in Florence. This is where he learned how to paint, sculpt, and pretty much master every art form under the sun. Legend has it that one day, Leonardo painted an angel in one of Verrocchio's works, and his boss took one look at it and said, "Well, guess I'm done here," and stopped painting. Leonardo was that good even as a teenager. Can you imagine being so talented that your teacher just gives up? Wild. Leonardo was left-handed and dyslexic, but instead of letting that slow him down, he just decided to write in mirror writing. That's right, he wrote backward. Not because it was easier for him, but because, well, why not? You'd think it was to hide his notes or something, but nope. He just felt like doing it that way. By his 20s, Leonardo was already making a name for himself in Florence. But painting wasn't enough for him. His brain was like a never-ending Google search. He filled thousands of notebooks with sketches and ideas about everything from anatomy to flight to hydraulics. He even designed machines that were way ahead of their time, like flying machines, armored vehicles, and even early versions of the helicopter. Yep, the guy was practically blueprinting the future centuries before any of it could actually be built. Speaking of inventions, Da Vinci once designed a fully functioning robot knight. That's right, a robot at night. It could sit, wave its arms, and even move its jaw. Imagine Leonardo sitting there in the 15th century thinking, yeah, the world could use some robots. But let's talk about his art, because that's where most people know him best. His two most famous works are, of course, The Last Supper and the Mona Lisa. The Last Supper is that massive mural where Jesus is chilling with his disciples and everyone looks like they're reacting to some shocking news. Then there's the Mona Lisa, arguably the most famous painting in the world. It's been debated for centuries. Who is she? Can I get her snap? Does she have a boyfriend? What's up with that creepy smile? Da Vinci never delivered the painting to his client. Yeah, he just kept the Mona Lisa for himself. Leonardo was notorious for not finishing things. The guy would start a project, get halfway through, then get distracted by some new idea and just not finish. He'd leave a trail of half-done paintings, sculptures, and inventions behind him. Imagine being one of his clients. "Hey Leonardo, is my painting done yet?" Not yet, but have you seen my new design for a submarine?" Beyond art and inventions, Leonardo had a deep interest in anatomy. He dissected human bodies, in secret because that wasn't exactly legal at the time, to understand how everything worked under the skin. He drew detailed sketches of muscles, organs, and bones that were so accurate, they're still referenced by medical professionals today. By the 1500s, Leonardo had worked for some of the most powerful people in Italy, including the Duke of Milan. Leonardo was kind of a freelancer, moving from job to job, designing military fortifications one minute, sketching out a perfect human form the next. He even ended up working for the King of France toward the end of his life. Leonardo spent his final years in France, still sketching and working on his endless stream of ideas right up until his death in 1519. And that's Leonardo da Vinci for you. The man, the myth, the guy who rarely finished anything, but somehow still managed to change the world. Whether he was painting masterpieces or designing robots and helicopters centuries ahead of his time, Leonardo was the ultimate multitasker. And hey, you can be one too. Just multitask by hitting that like button, subscribing, and dropping a comment on what you'd like to see next. Who knows, maybe your suggestion will be the next genius we dive into.